Hello, everybody. This is your boy JB and
Shawnee Walker.
okay, representing the Urban Flow from WFDU 89.1 HD2, and we're very happy to have as our special guest on this evening, Mr. Dereck Jermaine.
What's up, good people?
And Dereck, man, he was just in concert here at Church of the Oranges in Orange, New Jersey, and he did a fantastic job. Wonderful job. I mean, the background singers were on point. The band was on point. His vocals were absolutely stellar.
You give a very energetic performance.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, brother, we just want to welcome you here to the Urban Flow radio show, brother.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, man, it's such a...
Thank you.
We are honored that you will grace us with your presence.
Absolutely. Likewise.
All right. Well, I tell you, just a couple of questions,
All right.
that we have for you.
I think first starting off, can you tell us a bit about the show?
Yeah, it's entitled The Overflow Experience. It was birthed, the idea came from the single that we recorded.
Okay.
About a year and a half ago, a songwriter from Africa by the name of Godwin Hillary hit me up. He's a producer and a songwriter out of Africa. Mm-hmm. He heard some music that I had done before with one of the artists that I traveled with and said, I would like to try you out on a few records. So I said, sure. Okay. And there's another songwriter named John Paulkey that wrote Overflow. And he sent it over to me, and within 5 seconds of hearing it, I had to pull over in the car because I was just in tears. I just couldn't take it. Okay. So much so I went home and recorded that day, tears, crying and all, sent it back overseas to Africa, and then he said, we're going to leave it just like this. We're not going to make any changes. And the single was recorded and got back to the record label, and they said, we love it. Why don't we turn this into a tour to promote? So that's how the Overflow Experience came about.
Oh, very nice.
Absolutely.
Very nice.
Okay.
So where's your next stop after this?
I believe we're in New Jersey. We do, I want to say we do the Bronx, and then we come to North Carolina. I know we had a call from Florida, and somewhere on the East Coast in the DMV area, I believe. So we have about maybe 5 or 6 more days before we shut it down for a little while.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So, Dereck, how would you describe yourself as an artist?
Well, to be perfectly honest, I don't consider myself an artist. My manager would kill me if he heard me say that. I'm a worship leader. I'm just a guy who has an absolute love and adoration for worship and God's people. I never desired to be an artist. I started off as a musician, songwriter, and a background vocalist. It's what I love to do. I traveled singing background for years and was content. But in 2014, I had an opportunity to present myself as a solo artist, if you will. And God opened up a door, and I've been running ever since. And so I guess I would consider myself more so just a worshiper than an artist. Okay. It's really who I am, the core of who I am.
Okay.
Well, take us back to the beginning. When did it start? How did it start? Where did it start? And just bring us up to now.
Grew up in Rayford, North Carolina. I've always had the ability to hear. I started off as a musician. I started playing in my home church. I was about maybe 6 or 7, and sat under my minister of music at that time, Dr. Willie McNeil, Civil Grove Missionary Baptist Church, Rayford, North Carolina. And he would just allow me to watch his hands, and I would pick up what he was doing by ear. And about 2 years after that, he said, okay, I'm passing the torch to you. You've got it. And so I went from just watching him to having 5 choirs under my belt at 7 years old.
Oh, wow.
Senior choir, male choir, youth choir, male chorus, and it was and the band. It was myself, a guitar player, and a drummer. We were all 7 to 10 years old. Started like that.
That is awesome.
And I trained myself vocally, and I just started to train myself to sing what I hear. And I took my first job after that as a praise and worship leader and minister of music at the age of 13, and I've been going ever since. I'll be 30 in August.
Wow.
Yes.
That is fantastic.
Absolutely.
That's a life of service. That is fantastic.
Right. So, Dereck, what motivates you to write, and what you feel is a source of your inspiration as a worship leader?
Different things inspire me.
Okay.
Just being a creative person. It can be the sound of a honking horn. And I'm here with kids in, and it might, by the course, or it could be the way the wind is blowing, or just what's going on in the world, or what's going on in my day. Usually what happens is the Lord will give me lyrics first, and I can be driving, and he'll give me what's called a hook, which is what's the chorus of the song.
Yeah.
and I'll just record it on my phone or something like that, and then, you know, I'll pray about it and say, Lord, what do you want me to do with this? And the melody will come. I'll give you a good example. My very first single, Hosanna, I was driving home from the hospital. I got a phone call. My brother had passed away. And it's, you know, God does all things well. This was back in 2013. I was just getting off work, got a phone call from my mom. She had said, you need to get to the hospital now. She hadn't told me my brother had passed yet. I got there. And on my way home, I scared myself because I was just as calm. I didn't break down. And I just went into worship. And I just said, Hosanna to the Lamb. And I just kept singing it over and over and over again. And when I got home, the Lord gave me the melody. And we released it as a single about 6 months later. And it went on to be nominated for 3 Stellars.
Wow. Oh, wow.
So it could be anything.
When
the way the light shines.
When the moment strikes
anything.
and that you just jump on it, that's admirable.
Indeed.
Yeah, I have to say that I have a knack for writing. I just don't always, you know, I don't have the tendency to write down. I don't record it as soon as I said it, you know what I mean? Like, and I try to rely on my memory, and then, you know, I don't have any songs out now. There's been stuff I've written down and had to go back to it 3 years later because the Lord said, okay, I'm ready to give you the second part to this now. Okay. Write everything down. Everything. You might hear a melody in your sleep. Keep your phone. Wake up, and go right on back to sleep. You never know when you might need it. Yeah.
So, Dereck, what do you feel is the state of the gospel music industry today? Do you feel like we're going in the right direction, or should we be going in another direction?
You want my honest opinion?
I want your honest opinion.
For a little while, I was a bit nervous. More so from the consumer standpoint than I was about the actual industry. People stopped buying music. And so it made it very hard for us to do what we do. And when they would get the music, they wouldn't purchase it. They would burn it or stream it, you know, or find a way around actually purchasing, downloading, you know. So it made me a bit nervous. And as an artist or you know, as a worship leader, it's very discouraging when you spend $30,000 to $50,000 to prepare a body of work that you want to present to the world, and then they don't want to give you 99 cents. For a single. And so I was a bit scared for a while, but I honestly believe that we're on the right track. God has blessed some incredible forerunners, in my opinion, now in the gospel industry that I believe are taking us in the right direction. From the legends that are still living, like Shirley Caesar, CeCe Winans, Donnie McClurkin, the Clark sisters, up until the millennials, Jacqueline Carr, Kiara Shear, Jonathan McReynolds, you know, Travis Green. There are some incredible voices in the kingdom that I believe are taking us in the right direction, and I believe we're going to be okay.
All right.
Okay, well, listen, what makes you happy? I mean, in terms of your music, what are the happiest moments, you know, when you're performing before people?
When what I am doing invokes the presence of God and I see people free. Free from what they came with, whether it be mental bondage, sickness, financial strain, depression, you know, problems with their kids, problems with their marriage. As a worship leader or as a leader in general, you learn to become very sensitive to the needs of people that you serve. Whether you are a boss at what we consider to be a secular job, you spend enough time around people, you begin to be able to kind of pick up on what's going on. And so as a worship leader, we pick up everything. And so what makes me happy is when I know the presence of God has come into the room to heal, set free, and deliver, and people are really experiencing the transforming power of God. It's the happiest moment in the world for me.
Well, and speaking in terms of needs, as you've gone around the country, as you've traveled around the world, what do you feel the greatest needs people have?
Joy.
Okay.
Joy. And my reason for saying this is happiness is predicated upon what's going on in your life. But the joy of the Lord is our strength. Joy is internal. Joy is everlasting. It's what our spirit has been commanded to do. Happiness can be predicated upon whether you have enough gas to get home. If you don't have enough money to eat lunch, you might feel some kind of way. But joy is locked in your spirit. And I believe that when you really train your spirit to be joyful at all times, no matter what's going on in your life, no matter what's going on around you, nothing can shake or faze you because you know that you have the joy of the Lord down in your heart. It's almost like a barrier from the world. I think people need to be happy.
Oh, absolutely.
Happy. There's so many miserable people that are engulfing themselves in stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with them because they're miserable.
Right.
Joy is what I feel with you.
Well, okay, because I had the opportunity to ask an artist that last weekend, as a matter of fact, And he says that as he's traveled around, it seems like joy and happiness is the greatest need that he's seen that people around the world, needs. Wow.
Well, I have a question. As you navigate your career, what type of legacy are you trying to build?
I want to, well, it started off, I wanted to be just like anybody else that's doing this profession. I wanted to be Grammy Award winning, top of the line, you know, but now I honestly just want to leave a legacy for my family, doing what I love to do, not settling. It's not easy doing this at all. It's not easy by far. There have been moments where I said, I'm just done with this. I'm a teacher as well. So I said, you know what? I have a degree. I have a career outside of this. Y'all can have it. But I want to, I don't have any children. I don't father any natural children. I do have godchildren, nieces, and nephews. And I want to leave a legacy that shows them, stick to what you love. Pursue your passion with everything you got. And you will never be miserable. You'll never work hard a day in your life. You have to work smart, but you'll never work hard a day in your life. And as long as you are pursuing purpose and passion, you'll never, ever be broke. Never. If you're in the purpose of God for your life, watch this, because God will never give you responsibility without giving you the ability to respond. What does that mean in layman's terms? If it's God's will, he's going to foot the bill.
Right.
Think about it. The Bible says he leadeth me beside the still waters. That means if the waters are raging, 9 times out of 10, you're not in purpose. There's absolutely no way that you can be in purpose and things not go well. Not saying you're not going to have some bad days. But if things are just turmoil 24/7, you might want to reconsider what you feel like God is calling you to do. So as long as you're pursuing purpose, you'll never work a day in your life. And that's the legacy I want to leave with my kids. Do what you love to do. Pursue it with all your might.
Well, listen, we don't want to monopolize your time. We have a couple more questions that we'd like to ask. In light of societal issues and challenges, you know, you have racism, you know, you have, some would say, black on black crime, so on and so forth. Do you feel as though the artist has an obligation or no to address these particular situations?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I believe that we have the right and somewhat of a responsibility to speak on behalf of the church. However, I believe that before we can be effective in it, somebody has to go before us and teach. Because I disagree with you does not make me wrong, and it does not make you right.
Right.
You have the right to have whatever opinion you have, and I don't have to like it, but I don't have to disrespect you.
Right.
And I won't disrespect you.
Right.
Your opinion don't make me wrong. My opinion don't make you right. And so I feel like we have the right to speak on it, but before it can be received in the right way, I won't.
Yeah, because case in point, we're not going to get into this, but you know, with the Kimberell, you know, issue that you know is really reverberating throughout the music industry, and I agree with what you said. Everyone has a right to his or her opinion. Everybody has that right. Whether I choose to agree with it or not, you know, that's one thing. And as you mentioned, we should all agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just keep it moving. Absolutely.
Okay. 3 to 5 years from now, 3 years from now, what do you hope to be doing?
I pray that in 3 to 5 years, I pray that I have established a successful tour.
Okay.
It's really what I want to do. Be a success at radio.
Okay.
And just be established. Maybe not married. I don't see myself married anytime soon. But just settled in my adulthood and having a great time doing what I love to do. But established the right way.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Well, listen, everyone, we want to thank Mr. Dereck Jermaine for taking time out of his busy schedule to come and share with us on this evening. So, sir, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I am JB, and this is
Johnny Walker.
And you're listening to The Urban Flow on WFDU 89.1. Thank you so much. God bless, and we'll see you soon. Also, remember to tune in to The Urban Flow on the same letters that I gave you, WFDU 89.1 on Saturdays from 5 to 7, and on Tenor Radio from 7 to 8. All right? On Sundays. Okay? God bless you, and we will see you on the next time. Thank you. Good night.